Welcome! Oh, boss, wait 1 minute, let me fix my face. Ah, yes, we have light! Welcome back, guys, and today we're going to be talking about flash guns and my experience in using the flash gun and some tips I can help give you when you're first starting out using a flash gun. Flash guns come in many different forms and sizes, so we're going to start off with the basics. Small camera like this, small DSLR, the flash will always pop up like that. And there's a slight problem with that. When light travels directly into a person's face, you typically get red eyes, and that is not very nice. The way to get around these kind of issues is just to think of it this way. Photography is the art of painting with light. So once you know you need to kind of paint your subject with light, wrap light around them rather than just like shoving it down, having it really stark and having harsh highlights, you start to understand that you need to bounce light. So what typically when you have something like this, a good way to get around this issue is to actually diffuse it. The light will be softer and it'll create a nice even exposure rather than just having really strong highlights. Sometimes I would even use a business card to kind of just like reflect and deflect it around, and the light will still travel through the white card, which is quite cool, right? Now, when it comes to playing with these bad boys, you understand to actually rotate and reflect it off a wall behind you. And to make it even more soft and balanced, we would add one of these on, a little cap. Basically the same thing with tissue. If you don't have one which is auto, typically most flash guns now just come with an auto setting, which is really helpful because I did not know how to use it manually, and that was kind of a problem for me. But if you have it on auto, good job, just keep it on auto. All you're gonna have to do is just rotate it and bounce it off a wall behind you. This is usually the easiest and quickest way to kind of get the best results using a flash, especially if you've just started using a flash. If you don't have auto settings, to try and put it on a one which is not too high and then just kind of bounce it and see what you get. Typically, it should work out for you. You know, why am I even talking about it? I'm going to introduce you to my friend Joe. I've worked with him in the past. He works at NFL Brewery. He's a brewer. And I thought, why not give him some nice portraits and use the flash to show you the different results you get using it. Without further ado, let's set up. So now we have our setup ready, and as you can see, I've created a nice kind of moody atmosphere going around with the stage light. And having the stage light there creates a nice shadow. If you look at the photo, you'd think, hey, this is not too bad actually, this works out pretty well. But the whole point of this is you want to be in control of the light, you don't want the light to control you. So basically what I've done is, I would take the flash off, or switch the flash off, do my exposure as normal as I would do without the flash, and slightly underexposed, just to kind of get it the way I want, because typically when you're editing, you'll always bring the exposure up when editing. You never really bring the exposure down with editing. It's a lot harder that way. Then I will switch on my flash. So let's say you'd want to get rid of the shadows and kind of take the shadows away from his eyes. You want to see more of his face. You don't want it to be too edgy, too moody. You put the flash on and bounce it off the wall, and it'll create a nice even spread on the surface. Now, let's say I like that, but it's kind of lost the mood. It's not as moody, and but I want to have the nice perfect balance where I want to get rid of the shadows under his eyes and just kind of see a bit more of it, but at the same time I want to have that half lit background. So what you do is, you just go to your camera settings, And typically with Canon, and I think this will be fine with most cameras, you go to the settings, you'd find a flash control, then you would go to your flash settings, you'd get to your exposure, you can choose how strong you want it to be. And the best part about it is if you're in auto, it will keep the knife balanced, because the flash will think that it's going straight on. You'll bounce it off the wall, so it's already kind of been reflected and spread out evenly upon the surface that you're trying to shoot. Then on top of that, you're taking it exposure by exposure down, just to kind of get it exactly the way you want it. The whole point is, if you're starting out, you want to try and get as much control and grip on the situation as possible. As you can see now, I've taken the flash down by a few stops of exposure, and you get a better balance. And I'll try and put some arrows to show you where the flash has actually filled in on the shadows. It might not be your taste, but it's more about trying to help you understand that you can be in control, even if it's the first time you started using a flash. So when you're out there shooting a wedding, or how to get the best results from it, I really hope that this helps guide you and kind of make you feel more comfortable using a flash, to be honest, because let's face it, it can be really daunting, especially when I started doing photography and I started doing some nice black and white portraits. A lot of people would ask like, hey, how do you use a flash? Where'd you get a flash? Or can I just use a continuous light instead? It's all good using a continuous light, but it's very hard to kind of take them. They're not very portable. Flash guns, it's another art. It is very artistic. You need to reflect everything. So I hope this helps you get to grips with lighting, and hopefully now you guys can be a pro. Go out there, take a flash gun. If you're in a wedding, you're in a commercial shoot. So I hope this helps you out, and please like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Good night.